coming off the plane straight into Dallas, getting right back on the saddle again. We got a quick glance at the vetoes right there. I want to talk about obviously a bit of a stronghold for Aurora, and that is going to be Anubis, their map selection. That's going to be something that they really want to kick things off with. They're going to be looking forward to dominating in that map. I think it's going to be an interesting challenge here. Aurora, I think are going to be hoping that the advantage of jet lag is going to be working in their favor, but Aurora are familiar with the grind, and they're going to bring that here in this matchup right now.
Yeah, we'll see if they can just immediately hit the ground running. A solid performance there. Bronze medal in Astana. See if they can do even better potentially in Dallas, as Woxic will open up with his classic P2000, but Jota will get cleared by the duo of P250s. And that leaves a 3 versus 4. We got Zentaris long range. He can't hit the headshot, but that just baits in for Madger, but he doesn't convert. Oh man, this comes down to Zentaris. He strafes down to the CT. He can't find a headshot, and nothing is connecting here for Aurora.
Yeah, struggling to land some of these shots to lock this one down. Have the players in position, but can't back it up. Right now, Acadia looking to elevate his teammate. Centaurus not the tallest right now of towers, but still good enough. And oh my god, everyone comes tumbling down here on Heroic. It's just Sun Pius. Unknown behind the car, missing some shots here.
No
Retake
way.
successful. And Aurora will rip that round back from Heroic.
Oh, the totem pole of terror from Arcadia. The bottom half of the totem pole. A burst of the dual Berettas, and they get it done to the 2 versus 4. And there's no emotion here for Aurora, but dude, they just got off of an insane plane flight. They're not even done with that. That's just another day in the office for them.
Absolutely. Just getting pistol round success here, no big deal. A bit of a frustrating start, but how do they pull this one back? The Berettas, the first 2 bullets out of the gun are 2 headshots. Acadia and Zentaris, I mean, just talk about a huge duo here in 2025. The big reason as to why Aurora, alongside Jota, joining into this roster. The big reason as to why this team has been elevated here to such heights. And now Major looking to lock it down. You have the op behind it. Woxic with the big green sniping away. Locking this long take down. And Sun Pius only has a scout to get out of this corner. He's going to not be able to escape. He's boxed in unless he finds shots like that to bail him out. Eventually bested, but not to matter here. X-Fly with a little bit too much range with a tech. Looking to close out this kill, but just about escaping is Jota.
Oh. Parkour, not fast enough there. X-Floud. This is a Turkish Counter-Strike fan's dream right here. What most people would say, the top 6 players from the country in the server right now.
Absolutely. I mean, and Jota also very familiar with some of these Heroic guys. This isn't necessarily their first meetup. I think they met up in IEM Dallas play-ins. That was where they first clashed here. But once again, since that point, facing off against each other in a pretty cool fashion. And I mean, again, Jota's been able to really elevate this Aurora team. I've loved his game on this roster. From a team that could make, deep runs into playoffs every once in a while to a team that is a playoff roster consistently. I mean, that's what they've been able to do throughout 2025. Now, they've finally broken through with some playoff wins in Astana, which I think is a big difference maker for this team. That could be the next stepping stone for this roster just at the right time. But being able to now transfer that after such a grueling, long flight into this group stage and get that consistency, that's a next test as well. That's a difficult task for a team that's already talked about how that weighs on them.
Has some Pius threads in a wall bang onto Woxic. Zentaris will send him forward with the MP9 and just get cut down. 4 bullets from the Tech 9, no problem. And now this is weird. Obviously, Heroic have little utility, and that should allow Woxic's op to go ahead and feast, but all I could say is this round is very uncertain here for Aurora.
Yeah, I mean, just zero information right now. Jota, with a lot of weight on his shoulders, pretty much sectioned throughout the whole part of this B side is going to get some backup now with Arcadia committed.
Sampaius is posted as well. This could be lethal if he swings into a scout. Jota, when will he swing for info? He does now. There's a scout tag, and that will be enough to finish up. But Arcadia does come through in rotation, delivers a sharp headshot here with the A4. Excellent flashbang. Dooley's into the site. The full team flash doesn't matter. Arcadia comes through with 3. And, nothing went wrong there.
Hey, all that matters is that you commit. It doesn't matter what that commit looks like, as long as you go for it, as long as you're all in right there. And Arcadia was definitely all in. No matter if he was blind, he was not going to back away from that fight. And somehow manages to win that duel versus Tenier. A little bit frustrating for him. Now we got a boost. Tired of this op presence here. Will knock him off the perch. Sampaius sidelined, trying to deal with the players rushing across the screen. The big silver lining here is that X-Cloud has snuck his way on towards the cat.
It's not nearly a second. NATO smoke as well. Out in the open is Linus, but no headshot delivered. Instead, it's X-Flag. You're talking about it. He's already up the cat. That's a headshot onto Zentaris, but no kill given. Instead, Wakadia steals a kill back. And Heroic have been slowed down to a crawl, and that allows Jota to catch up. But Tenier is clearing. Oh, not quite. Not sharp enough. Jota gets that one. 2 versus 5. And the round feels done. Wakadia wants to end it quick. Okay, I was thinking the smoke push is a little much here. That's too much mustard.
And you can't have too much mustard, that's for sure. In this case, just enough here. The right amount of aggression, as Jota so often shows. And Woxic reading into that one perfectly. No hesitation on where his crosser needed to be. Same is true for the follow-up. Woxic off to a monster start. I put a lot of focus on Sampaius here for the Heroic camp right now on the op. He is, you know, again, one of the big pieces here in the server for Heroic. But right now, Woxic stepping up to the plate on Dust2, their opponent's map pick, and being able to put through this level of output right now. I mean, just so deadly here from start to finish.
Yeah, this is actually Woxic's best map in his pool. You might think, oh, with Anubis and the win rate that Aurora have on it. But Woxic isn't the centerpiece of that map. He is here. And the way he's taking his peaks is just super intelligent. We saw him win that duel versus Sampaius. He took a higher elevation peak because he anticipated the boost. And that's a really difficult flick for Sampaius to hit when he's looking down bottom, watching that lower tunnels push. Or with some advanced gameplay, you know, Sampaius was talking about in the interview, they want to test their metal versus tier 1. Well, this is what it's like.
Yeah, and again, as I said, there's no better test right now to see, you know, where you're at than this Aurora team. If you're able to best them, you know, I think you can contend with the best of rosters right now.
Dang.
You can make it to a playoff run, but if not, if they shut you down like they are right now, you know, all that success that they've been putting through in the tier 2 space, it's going to be null and void. It's going to feel a little bit hollow. Right now, aggression here from Magic just completely sidelines LNZ before that flash goes in towards long doors. Aurora, they're playing unrelenting Counter-Strike right now, and it's got to infuriate Heroic.
That nade almost catches X-Flow too. He had to sprint away from the grenade. And this round is looking quite toast. Unless a monster entry comes through from Tenier, which I have seen. A diamond for sure, but X-Flow going first. Low HP. A great trade there from Tenier. Woxic arrives, but he doesn't realize they've already gotten out to the blue bin. He will not continue to swing. He will hold. And he gets back on the line. He gets another. Chambers another shot of the op. Sees the shadow. Won't be baited though, but he will miss. And then Wakadia has the trade. Everything safe and sound here for Aurora. They're up to 5.
That gun got shot flying forward right there. So I don't think that op is recovered, but the round is. And hopefully the server, I don't know what happened there. But looks to be all good right now as Aurora, they will stabilize Woxic in that forward-facing position. I mean, you just talked about how good this map is for him. being able to put that into play with another massive bit of impact here. Now he's a heat-seeking missile on this head-to-head versus Unpious right now. That is such a confident move right there from the op, trying to peek in to try and catch people that throw utility towards Cat. Woxic showing fearlessness, and Aurora, the biggest dream they could have right now is to end this one quickly and get a good night's rest.
But why not try out some Texas barbecue before you go to sleep? You know, that's a little tempting, right?
And put yourself in a little food coma. That could be even better.
A long pop and Aurora are positioned perfectly for it. A dry swing here from Linus could be the death of him. And Madger also delivers. Woxic is farming right now. He just re-peeks in for a second kill, and some Pious does not connect. Zantares as well. Headshot angle, guillotines X-Floud. And Youngstar gets blown up into a supernova as Zantares is locked in. 21 hours of flight do not matter as Madger gets chirping already. 6 rounds deep into Dallas.
And cheesing right now, man. He is smiling ear to ear. That is just, it feels like a flawless round from Aurora. I mean, it is in the server, but my God, did they throw the utility at the perfect time towards Long, and then they throw the perfect utility towards Cat as well. This is brutal from Aurora.
Woxic?
And he's doing the same thing. He didn't get spotted last round. Let's run it back. Let's go again. Deep positioning. But he's going to get pressured by the pistols right now. He's got to get out of dodge, and he didn't make it. He didn't turn the corner in time. Finally shut down. Cooled off. That's an op donated over to some Pious' hands as well. CT side position good though. I mean, all things considered. Double up towards the B side. A lot of coverage towards middle and Cat. They're where they need to be to stabilize this round. It's about being able to bring the kills on the site proper.
Door smoke spotted, and an easy first kill there for Jota, but Wikadia deleted by the Deagle, and all the entries work out. But still not expected to be so close to near. Still adjust. Much sharper than in the previous rounds where he's been caught. And Heroic will notch their first on the board.
Yeah, that's so necessary right there. Starts off with a little bit of an overstay from Woxic. He camped it out there for just a second too long. That cost them. And it turns into an op being picked up and an effective B execute that they've been able to put together. I mean, they've had some really good entry pathing on this B side. Some Pious holding it, and oh my God, okay, he gets snapped out of the round straight through the wall. I thought the HE would provide enough coverage, but some Pious times it well. Risky maneuvers towards Long for Madger, jump spotting in, still wins the duel without a point of damage taken in return, finds the equalizer, and he is out of there.
34-year-old talent right there, turn it up, versus the youngsters of the Turkish scene, of his disciple. The sensei drops him.
And he has definitely still got it here. When it comes down to the importance of his kills as well. I mean, he is so clutch for this team. You can get 10 kills in a map, and it can all be round defining.
Oh my!
He finds one through the smoke, only to be bested through the smoke from some Pious as well. Lines it up and knocks another down, trying to pull this disadvantage back, but it remains here. And Youngster with his lurk out towards middle puts Woxic in a box, and he cannot climb out of it here. Some Pious has his number right now, and they're going to take 2 here. Heroic looking to bounce back.
Youngster starting to lock in for this game as well. A sharp double, well, that helps. Despite Madger's best efforts, he did great work, but just calmly moves the artillery into position, and then Youngster on the lurk. Sharp 2 headshots. No funny business with that one, and Heroic are back in it. This is Heroic's best map in their pool by far, by the way. Their last 8 times they've played on it, they haven't let an opponent get to double digits. They have destroyed everyone on this map in the last 2 months.
And obviously there's so much firepower, but you know this map comes down to the opping in which Woxic was winning in those first 6 rounds over and over again. Sun Pius gonna wake up in the server as well. Finding some opening duels, finding coverage for his just rifle core that is incredibly strong on this team. And that rifle core looking to lead the charge here into a pretty empty A bomb site right now. Huge gamble. And cross successful. Oh my god. What? He accidentally walks across the map. Oh my god. What is that? That is ridiculous.
Oh my goodness. Well, 21 hours of travel time and some of that. He was tracking the wrong target. He actually hit the neighbor's dog with that one.
Oh no. That is insane. Kicking the ball
Can
around?
we keep following this? Can we keep following the soccer ball?
I think it's
That's way more interesting.
I think it's stationary. Shoot it. Get some practice in walks.
Come on.
Cadia.
Follow your cave into your desire. Makadia, shoot the soccer ball.
Pretty resilient soccer ball can take bullets. Hey,
There we go. Yes!
he did it.
They can hear us.
You're starting to gain
can't.
your caster powers there, you know?
Yes, I casted my first spell. You see.
Speaking it into existence. Oh no. You see the accident.
Tenir didn't even get the kill on a Madger. It's the funniest thing ever.
Oh my god, yeah, he didn't. Wow. We love happy little accidents. Reaction here from Aurora. Immediate double op. That's their decision with Cadia. Rocking one, Woxic on the other. Because you know, what beats one strong opera in the server is 2.
Makadia is truly a dual threat as well. And what he provides. I mean, he really is the person who will fill the shoes of Xantares. He is an incredibly strong player. He's put on the anchor rolls, and then he delivers highlights from them, time after time. And he's back again, solo op here on the B site, and he might be facing down, not quite the rush, but he will face down Sun Pius, and that's the last thing he expects. Sun Pius knocked out early.
Yeah, now he's just going to post up double zoom, single zoom. Right now, on the line. And he's got very favorable duels ahead. Oh! On scopes right there. Looking to avoid the flashbang and a quick headshot. You don't have a lot of time to sit around in that angle. And through the smoke, Xantares also drops. Joda trying to make a round-saving play, but blowing open the smoke. It's going to be coverage coming through from xCloud, and LMZ this time on the lurk's going to find some success. Magic can make things happen right now with this flank that he's got rolling out, but I don't think he'll really take much of a look-see in.
It was a great opener, and then everything else went wrong. Just a straight-up mechanical mistake there for Makadia. And we're going to keep mentioning it, man, but the grind could definitely be getting to a couple of these players who he definitely fell asleep at the wheel. He saw a flashbang. I feel like maybe he missed his crouch key, because like that would make sense. If you unscope.
Yeah, I think you just crouch right there, right? And
yeah.
Avoid the flashbang, and then you can uncrouch, and then bam, you're right there where you need to be. Can be difficult, though. I mean, it's not just your matchmaking games where that position is just a complete game ender. That position a little less effective when you're up against people that will instantly find you in that game of whack-a-mole. But that right there just creates a lot of difficulties, and from that point forward, there isn't a lot of recovery because of how committed Aurora were early in that round to try and stack up the A side of the map. It becomes a huge problem when he gets opened up on. I mean, that's pretty much round if it wasn't for that quick reaction and quick rotations. That's a double up punish right there with a man advantage. Heroic absolutely pulling this one back with 4 rounds in a row.
And the money gets snapped here for Aurora as well, allowing for a complete clawback. Aurora, we're rolling. I mean, courtesy of Woxic, without a doubt. basically won them all their early rounds, but started 11-2 and in a bit of a drought right now on Dust2. As he doesn't connect on a youngster either. Missed opportunity. Heroic take catwalk and Madger in his trusty 5-7.
A lot of diligence right now from Heroic in the default. Always being able to establish cat control in rounds like these. Gonna help you out big time. Being aware of mid regression. My god. I is going for anything right now. Gets tagged, jumping back on the Xbox and Toxic with a big pluck out of the server right there. Sun Pius drops. Now re-aggression from Wakadia and the pistols. Needing more here is Tanir, but he can only find a single. And Wakadia tearing through them with a 5-7, looking for one more. Smoke in the face of Xcloud, but panic setting in, and he finds just about every last one of them. Off the back of Woxic's early damage, Wakadia strikes and brings it back here for Aurora.
He turned that 5-7 into an AK right there. What on earth? He's like spray transferring players on the catwalk. As we have Woxic, that's a great opener. First player lower tunnels, he gets the rest. He gets all of them by some miracle. I think he was saved by the off, blocking the headshot. And then just 3 kills on the catwalk with the 20 bullets at the 5-7. That is a backbreaking round there for Heroic.
Yeah, just, I mean, so far, on the tail of this game, you just look at Oppers, very headstrong, playing confidently. Some Pice diving out of cat right there and getting plucked out is a very just bizarre move to make up against the pistols. It almost seemed like they knew exactly where the player was, close right there inside the doors, but sending your Opera in to try and get Hail Mary shots straight through the wall is a wild move. And it gets punished in a big fashion for Woxic to get back on track with his op, or with his scout even. But now he does have an op in play, and now Aurora could look to seal up the rest of this half if it wasn't for some good positioning from Tanir. Scaled out. Zentera's aware of it. Seems like it here.
Not quite. Tanir's not moving. Oh, this could be devastating. Right now, flashbang heard. First kill, not good though. Madger, the talent steps up again, but now Woxic. Tested here on A. The incendiary goes through and it does block enough. They'll wait for that smoke to dribble on through. That will allow for a plant for Cat. 4 versus 5 retake.
A great defensive smoke from the T side to try and work off of it, but they're getting bombarded by utility. LNZ dropped by the HE here, but now the catwalk players firing up, making sure that they can't scale through CT here. Everyone but Youngster left standing as Zentaris finds them from the back, and a defuse coming through from Aurora to close it off with 2 in a row, bringing us to the half.
That's, yeah, here we go. 8-4, going back in. Aurora looking to upset here on Dust2.
push tunnel.
Heroic said they wanted a taste of Tier 1. Well, here it is. They're down 8-4 on their home turf map pick. The one where they've dominated every single team in the Tier 2 circuit. It's a bit of a cold welcome so far. We'll see if they can heat up.
Yeah, the frustration here definitely seen on Heroic's face, but they did have a little bit of glimmer with those 4 rounds in a row. We'll see if they can look to shine in the second half now, as it is Heroic looking to take fights early. Wakadia immediately pushes and another headshot. We know he's good with the pistols. So is Jota, and Xanthera's long range besting that fight and getting into the B bomb site. Bomb crossing as well. And coverage for LNZ, looking to go for the all-in. Pre-fire under Jota, no avails, and Terrace pops his head up as well, and it's just Xfloud left standing, looking to fight up against his squad here, his former squad, and gets bested by Jota. Run down, Aurora, roll through the pistol.
I mean, Wakadia is absolutely sharp right now. I mean, talk about this top mid kill instant, and even got a goosh on the way of fighting against 3 players. B-site play clean. And Aurora, despite the travel, are still sharp individually. That's what we've seen so far in this game. Maybe not Xantares. And in fact, I think Xantares has had a bit of a cooldown in terms of his form. Still top rated in the team at Astana, but definitely had some maps where he wasn't all there. And that's where players like Wakadia have stepped up. Jota's having a good map. And while Waktik started off quite hot, it's really been Wakadia who's won the really impactful rounds.
Yeah, I mean, to get them back rolling once again on that CT side, breaking through with the 5-7, you know, pretty much bringing them 2 extra rounds there in the half. And now trying to keep that energy up into the T side here. A little bit more trust, a little bit more support. A single player spotted for some pies, but everyone is around the tunnels. Complete commitment from Aurora on their endeavor towards what looked like initially to be the B site. Bomb and catwalk control looking to be established a little bit later. Trying to plant their flag. Potentially towards this A side now. A lot more leaning in that direction. But there is a well-staffed bomb site. So Pius found the scout shot and immediately repositioned towards ramp.
Now we've got Tanir. Heroic's Diamond. Their big find in the season. He's over towards Goose. He'll be the ace in the hole, but it's Xfloud bringing through. He comes through with 3 Deagle headshots. Okay. Revenge versus his countrymen. Should have kept me on the team, huh? Force buy victory for Heroic.
Yeah, that is devastation right there. They didn't stand a chance. Xfloud broke them down at the entry point. And Tanir just gets his one that he needed. Xantares, who was tagged down by the scout early, is going to huddle back into spawn. Hunting party in right now. Youngster looking for his prize there, but no luck in chasing that one down. Huge bounce back, though, from Heroic right now. We need a round like that. Looking to keep Aurora at distance, at an arm's length, and Xfloud with some dominance. Look at these shots here. Left, right, left. Just destroying every target on his screen. Or their job gets a little bit more difficult here on Dust2.
It's funny because even recently, while some Pius has had a rebirth in his career, it's been Tanir and Xfloud who have been the dominant forces here on this Heroic team. Some Pius has been good. The Riflers have been great. We'll see if they can bring that to the table here. Xfloud only with a Mac 10. Will that be enough? Xantares charging forward, down on 74. Wakadia also takes some flak. And the utility saturating these Aurora players, but no kills are coming through. Xfloud forced away. We'll switch to the Deagle. But nothing is giving. This round gets weird.
Absolutely. Wakadia's hunting for these fights right now, but gets caught in transition, trying to escape. More utility tossed in towards the site, as they hope that this can do enough right now. 4v4 retake effort, flashing in towards spawn. They consistently are putting in the pressure before this retake can even lift off. LNZ still a bit passive right now, but Zentera's sidelined by Youngster's diligence. It's still Madger on the side, finding impact in the flank. Just too long range with the pistol to get the job done. Defuse kit on LNZ. He gets on the bomb with time here. And Heroic will be able to stabilize. A little bit of a scare.
Yeah, just as you get onto the A site. But with Jota so low, he wanted to flash in for the fight. He wanted to make a play. And he did. He got his kill. But it's this clear from Youngster. It's this kind of diligence that makes you a top-level team. If you give that kill back to Zentaras, that's Zentaras alive in a 3 versus 2. That's a 1 round for Aurora right there.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm right there with you. Big time pickup right there from Youngster. Talk about great riflers. I mean, he can definitely be included in the mix. We saw what he can get away with. Some sneaky lurks in that last half that got Heroic a lot of security on that T side. Now he's able to pull back retakes like that. Heroic going to close the distance quickly. I mean, this buy not looking fantastic here for the T side. 3 Deagles, though, it can remain scary. Zentaras can get activated along the rest of his squad. Aurora could coast to the finish line. And with a Deagle, that'd be the perfect way to do it.
Youngster needs to stay tucked. I wonder if his barrel is visible there from the Hummer corner. Molly does come through. Youngster instead will be served up an easy triple. And Tenier will just swing because he feels like it. Joe to be finished off in just a moment. And there it is. A flawless defense here for Heroic. Can they keep their single-digit streak alive? The competition starts now.
Stretch in. Youngster gets some freebies on that B side again, gaining confidence here. For this play is a good sign. Bolstering up that B bomb site. Now back up to the buys here. Woxic still rocking with the scout in this round here. The easiest guns here, especially when they're taking a full head of steam straight in your locations. It is Zentaras that finds the opening door. Makati is quick on the trade. So the all-in aggression right there, it does get punished. Good news is for Heroic, at least they're taking space back. Tunnels control fully established, and they're not stopping there. They know they need a big move to pull this round back.
Long control taken. Youngster's going to start a cat flank. Oh, what timing.
Flank.
Oh, we made noise, and it's done.
Oh, no.
Linus does get the kill back, but that could have been it. That could have been the round back in the hands there for Heroic. Instead, they are mollied out of the site. Linus will have to give up the plant. He actually has an angle onto Goose. He gets the kill on a Jota. The molly doesn't spread properly. 2 versus 2. We're going for this.
Yeah, Sunpies is flying on the flank right now. In fact, LNZ is going to join him. Double up here. Back is turned for now for Madger, but he's in a safe position. Looking to take the duel. Sunpies wins it. This round looking to be pulled back from the brink. And Woxic still so focused on Cat. They're quick on the long duel here. Sunpius. I think he's got his target located right now. Not quite. He swings out for the isolated duel. Woxic looking to bring home the clutch. Boxed against the corner right now. Up against Sunpius. And Woxic lands the headshot. A big blow to Sunpius there to close out the clutch and bring it home for Aurora when it got chaotic.
High sense shooting there from Woxic. And it's such a genius way to play it. You tuck away in the elevator corner and you can segment off every individual fight. And you can see this angle as well behind the molly. That gets them back into the round. But still, Aurora, despite the unfortunate nature of that round, still come through. Wakadia will stand out as the star player with the 2-piece, but it's Woxic with the clutch.
Yeah, that matters the most right there. Winning that one, pulling it home. Putting the pressure right back on Aurora's shoulders. Most importantly, picking up his reward. An AWP for his clutches. For his efforts in that last round. And risky maneuvers for LNZ. Had a bit of a tough map so far for himself, but had that pick off in the last round to make it happen.
Zantara stepping forward. Perfect flashbang though, but saves his star player. Madrid's been getting big impact kills despite the slow start from Xantares. Plenty of rotates available here for Heroic despite the 1 kill. Smoke about to fade. They've got to go. And into the meat grinder. Youngster will cut down the first. X-Cloud gets a flashbang, delivers a headshot. Now the advantage, but it swings back. Jota with the bomb gets onto the site. Will be able to safely plant as well. And that op of Woxic can provide coverage here for his rifle. Jota slinks down. Xantara is still alive. Youngster sneaking up though, and he delivers a kill. Woxic not quite there, and he doesn't hit the flick, but he does nail one onto some Pious. The round back live. Tanir picks up the scope next. He baits out the shot, but he doesn't hit it on the second try. Tanir sharp, and Heroic will exhale.
Oh my god. An absolute scare right there. Actually, Youngstar able to defuse the bomb behind the box, which was impressive, but either way, being able to slow that round down just enough for the side of Heroic to wait out the utility of Aurora. Look at what they have to do to get onto the site, and then the more difficult fashion is trying to plant that bomb. That's the next step here, so Heroic just keeping Aurora at bay for long enough. Frustration there. Rex loud, but his teammates being able to save the day. Heroic feeling the pressure, but they're not far off. Tech 9 buy, man. A lot of utility. You can see that Aurora have a vision. Trying to get that cat execute back that they missed out on round 2.
Dual smokes into the cat hit, trying to lure a rotation, but that won't bait some Pious. Still standing posted and ready here on the A site. He's been privy to a highlight. Does he have one? The flashbangs, though, are great. And now the Tech 9's approach. He steps forward into the fight, though. He gathers together with his teammates, and the positioning from some Pious is excellent. He lays back on his riflers. They provide the support, and Heroic are up to 9.
Yeah, I mean, that was scary right there from Aurora. They closed their distance effectively with that utility. That's exactly what you want to do with those Tech 9s with the riflers. Especially LNZ just saying, okay, I got to give up long here. We know what's happening on Cat. We know that that's the biggest liability. I have to sacrifice that position to make sure that my sight hold it remains. And smart decision right there from the leader of Heroic. We'll keep that round in safe hands. So Aurora and a couple of these T-side rounds shut out on the inbound of those Cat plays. Those don't seem to be working all that well for them at the moment. Another timeout to try and set things straight. And of course, none of the Madrid trying to be vocal here. Get them back on target.
Oh, nearly a headshot there. For Woxic.
Oh, man.
Pious. He's getting funny with it. And Xantares, will he respect it? Oh, the jump peek is incredible. It baits the shot perfectly. Op revealed. And now it's got to move.
Yeah, that's such a nasty move right there. Identifying where the op is positioned. Builds up a lot of confidence here for the op on Woxic. Smoke goes in to reposition the defense. B is completely empty right now. Trying to boost above the smoke could make things very interesting, but no one, not a single soul positioned on this catwalk. And this defense heavily committed to the middle. A flashbang to force the retake onto B. They think that it's a little bit more vulnerable than it really is. Meanwhile, they're still stacked up 3-man deep. in towards this setup.
Obscene towards long at 45 seconds. They're hitting the B site without a doubt. Zentaris on entry duty will be leading the pack, and he will be able to trade on to Tenier, but xFloud will be the unexpected factor here. But Youngster falls easy. Bomb gets dropped in the site. xFloud activates. But now this comes down to Magic. What can he do? As he walks up catwalk, and Woxic cleans out towards Linus. They're hunting everyone else but xFloud, but that's giving him time to reposition. Woxic still got it. He's going to be able to dive into the site, get the bomb planted, and that might have just won the round. Sampaio so far away, 44 HP with an op in his hand. You think he's going for this? Of course he's not. Aurora rob that round.
I mean, they had the dream setup right there. Heroic late into the round. Stacked up that B bomb site with 40 seconds or so. And you look at the remaining players and they're too far removed. They're so separated from the actual bomb on the B site. And somehow it still gets ripped away. They try and get active. They thought more resistance was ready to meet them on the B site, and you can only imagine the panic that's going on in xFloud's mind right there, thinking, you know, they could be pushing out of tunnels, thinking that there's some sort of lurking presence that's going to catch him off guard. He's desperately asking for support, and in doing so, his teammates get cut off at the seams because of how patient Aurora were in this round.
But don't get it wrong. Woxic won that round. Look at just the absolute lock on the high sense flick is ridiculous. Talk about high sensitivity, as people say, it's a bit of a handicap, but you can see the value of it because it gets him just that extra millisecond for the fast headshot. And that's tier 1 Counter-Strike for you, Heroic.
Yeah, I guess the big benefit right there. Sometimes it's difficult to be precise with that high sensitivity, but when you've got so much muscle memory, you've been dealing with that for so long, you do have that precision in Woxic, and then he brings it home with that instant kill with the adjustment. That is just phenomenal. Woxic definitely the big difference maker in that last round. Without a doubt. Now we got a... Oh, I thought it was going to be a boost setup. Initially, you see that smoke come in from the T side. Looks like an Xbox smoke in play, which feels a little bit old school for Dust2. Blocking the smoke right now. Tenier, a little bit lost. Also, Kadia reads it, and Tenier, completely dazed and confused, going to surface that smoke into an immediate death.
I think Tenier thought he got into lower tunnels, and that's why he moonwalks out of the smoke.
Goodness.
Monster flashbang onto Linus, who's out in the middle of the open. This comes down to Sampaio. First shot's good. He's going to try and reposition. Smartly so. He gets himself back in time for the cat P. Once again, Sampaio showing flawless positioning as Youngster lines up a double. 2 versus 2 here. Sampaio's seen, Youngster seen, but Aurora, will they continue pushing forward? The smoke is already down. HE breaks it, but there's a gap that Sampaio is not going to exploit. Joseph gets across, but they're not ready for Youngster here. The thread angle from the barrels is perfect. And now, Woxic in a clutch. Will switch back to his trusty rifle, but guess who's flanking? Sampaio is already here, posted up, but he misses! He misses on 9 HP. He can't go for this, and Woxic knows where the next is! He gets the headshot anyways, and then he completes yet another clutch! Woxic can't stop winning!
Every impossible situation, Woxic just pulls back from the brink. A 1v2 in which he had no business winning, but a missed shot on that flank back turn. Woxic just dodges the bullet. And so focused in on that target, trying to lock in the bomb plate. Youngster bested. And an absolute backbreaker right there.
Oh, man.
Sampaio knows what he just missed out on.
That was the game, too. That would be Aurora's economy completely broken. And it comes down to one op shot, and sometimes that's Counter-Strike. Oh, that is so gutting. And I'm gonna be real. Sampaio is an opper who hits those. He is well known for hitting the easy shots. But in that 1% right there, it's not there. I mean, he played the round excellently. but sometimes it's just not meant to be. Heroic's map pick on the line here in this round. They got to do with MP9s and 5.7s.
I'll see if there's any shot at redemption here. To a very frustrating situation. The heavy mid-stack. Xantares is taking the contact approach. So is the CT side, it seems, and that will be to their demise. As Xantares charging through here, spots out a heavy presence in CT spawn, and they'll look to win it by elimination here as they continue to tear through the defense. Just one remaining here to near on that B side of the map, and they identify their last player remaining and then just run through that CT smoke. They realize all the rotations are in. Woxic now posted up, battle hopping, 3 HP. He might be the alarm bell if his back wasn't turned, and this time Woxic won't miss here. He'll be the one to finally drive that nail on in and close it out here for Aurora. After a long haul flight, they'll start off Dust2 well.
21 hours and 13 rounds here on Dust2 for Aurora. I mean, what a storyline to continuing the grind here on LAN. I believe that makes us like how we can handle this for Heroic. If they can continue the jump from tier 2 to tier 1, we'll have to win here on Anubis to keep the sheet a bit clean. Let's get it on.
Let's see what they have here. Force Heroic down but not out. Looking to pull things back. And LNC, I think, wants to be a big piece of the puzzle here when it comes down to pulling this one back. See him call through a bit of a B-side fake as the rest of his team heads first in towards this A side. They're prepared. The dual Beretta set up here. The long-range fights with the P2000 are breaking this attack apart. And Youngster and LNZ, now realizing that they've walked into a heavy stack, have got to reroute this one.
Joach just fried the two on the initial contact, but Xantares has left the B side empty. And this will likely allow for at least a bomb plant. Tees can be happy with that, but anything more. As Linus with the crossback. So, okay, another lineup out the dualies. Breaking out the chopper right there for Xantares. The grin right there for Xantares. Oh, he's feeling it.
There's a cheeky little smile right there. Lasering the last two. And bringing Aurora that round comfortably. But from start to finish right there, you can see how things open up. It is definitely Heroic, hoping that that fake could have maybe sold a little bit more. But Aurora just plant their feet. They call the bluff early, stack up that A-bomb site. And then Xantares is on B to close. See, forced by in though with the bomb plant. So not the end of the world here for Heroic. They'll still be able to bring in a Galil into the mix. Oh, a lot of pistols behind that.
I think the touchdown grenade does kind of work for the location that we're in. Or a strike. How about a fastball, Cole?
There you go. I don't know. You know, is football big? American football? On Anubis? Throwing the touchdowns?
I don't think so. I think they were, like, fighting with spears back then.
Okay.
Back in, 2000 BC. As we got a little OA main control that's gone horribly wrong. Double kill out of the back 10 for Youngster. X-Flout as well. Back turn, easy headshot, and the force blast gone all wrong here for Aurora. Xantares to try and claw it back. First is good, but it'll be Joda to try and salvage the round to near. Will keep his hands firmly set on his Galil to put in the round. A force buy for Heroic.
Yeah, that's huge. That's what they needed right there. Quick bounce back, finding the timings, walking back into that A stack after the pistol, and saying, we're going to challenge this twice here. We'll see if you do it again. And there was still a strong setup, just not the kills converted behind the positioning there for Aurora. It means that Heroic will bring it back home. Their Youngster looking for an early liftoff in this match as well. And the force by war is going to roll out here. So much utility for middle right now. They just engulf that in flames for their positioning. And Heroic take a big win early in the map control.
All right, Wakadia. I think, like, trusty 5.7's a little bit belittling. How about his fearsome 5.7? All right, the one that got a 4K, that blasted Heroic out of that map. Smoke's about to fade. Collapse into middle for Aurora is inevitable. Katia is looking to lurk through the smoke. It's not a good smoke. They can utilize it. They will start to press on through. 3 Ts await them. And the bomb's going to be sent the other way. But LNZ out of bullets and a 3 versus 4. Whoa. With Jota on the scene over there at B. Nice kill there from Youngster, but now they're jumping into the jaws. A massive crossfire. Youngster mops up all 3, but Jota snuck out, but doesn't have the headshot. Some pies will clean up, and the Force by Wars victorious here for Heroic.
Yeah, a little bit jumpy right there from the Aurora camp. I love the mid-aggression. Very patient from them to wait out the flash, wait out the multiple smokes towards Temple. Actually, from both camps, a lot of patience put on display, but it comes out very effective. They're at a 4v3. Now, they know that they're going to lose the B site because of that mid-aggression. Because of how quick the rotations can be from Heroic. They even know where Youngster is, but Woxic trying to hunt down that kill, pre-firing around the corner, ends up falling. And from that point forward, Aurora find themselves a little bit too far out of their depth. This T side will be able to slowly get into the action. Throw nades back through that window. That's a good sign from Heroic, tossing in some good utility. Even better that Youngster continues to remain confident. 6-2 right now. Building up some eeks. We'll be able to spray them all down here. Looking for the ace. He'll claim it. Nicely done right there. 5 pistols chasing him down. 5 will fall. Only had to sacrifice 1 teammate, but again, continuing his confidence.
Sometimes sacrifices must be made for sick highlights. That'll be done here for the young Swede. It's crazy how all the good Swedish players are not on NIP. Sorry. Oh, that was a shot from left. That was a left hook.
Dang.
Oh, my bad. Anyways, back to the game.
I'm sure the Heroic team would like that one right there. They'll just that stray. Even when they're a map down, they stay winning.
You know, I was told when I was, being a caster, you just say the first thing that comes to mind, right? So, just no filter.
Is that what they told you?
Fellas, that's not what you're supposed to do as a commentator, just being a little unhinged. Wakati up close. A chance for a huge multi-kill. They're not even going to flash into this. He's going to step forward too on the angle, and he will fall at the hands of Tanir. That just leaves Woxic with his ravenous rifle looking forward. Not even the AWP.
Yeah, they threw their full execution utility, and I think it's a good decision from Aurora, or rather Heroic, to rethink their destination for just a second. Following through the smoke. That's what they wanted right there. That's the patience paying off. Woxic trying to make a big play. Just walking through the smoke, gets gray screened, and then taken care of. Santaras as well with a huge effort, but sidelined by XFloud. He flew through middle for the closing statement of that round. And it will put up Heroic up to a 4-1 lead here. This T side looking to take over.
Oh, that was some scary headshots from XFloud. And Major not sharp enough to take down his disciple. XFloud with a triple. All headshots. Oh, crisp. Get it from Jota's perspective. He got erased.
He's doing some acrobatics right there. It was so swift from XFloud. And now we're seeing the riflers take over on the Heroic camp. Youngstar doing damage with those pistols, those ecos here, keeping things nice and contained. And then on these big gun rounds, we see a lot of that impact from XFloud to close. Fast towards this B side to near, and XFloud opening things up. Again, this powerhouse of riflers here, I mean, I feel like you do have a very strong 3 players on this squad. When you talk about Youngstar, Tanir, and XFloud as these rifles here, they can do so much, especially when they're heated up, when they're feeling confident like this.
I mean, you always ask Heroic, how the heck did you find these guys? And I mean, placing Saw behind these players to develop them. The guy who's so used to developing talent and creating teams that are greater than the sum of their parts. I mean, Saw's projects in the last 2 years were ends where they were winning tournaments with Hades, well, D-Hop. They weren't winning tournaments. They were, I mean, second place here at Dallas,
Playoffs.
right? Yeah, they're an easy playoff slot in. Made Shanghai playoffs.
Pious.
Yeah, made the jump for some Pious in 2023. Turned that into a world number 2. And then
they did win events with that squad, right? They made that jump with that roster move from a team that is making deep runs and putting scares in playoffs to a team that won Dallas, right?
Exactly.
2023.
And then turned a heroic team last year completely from scratch and turned that one into a fighting force that made major playoffs. And now they're doing it again.
I think it's very smart talent acquisition as well, right? If you talk about, okay, this is a tier 2 team that made some heights. You look at that old Singal core, but you did have to, disrupt it a little bit, right? You couldn't bring all the pieces, and I definitely think, we know what Jota brings to the table from that core as well. He was a phenomenal piece. He's also made a big jump for Aurora now. And just being able to have this level of talent here, identify the up-and-coming talent, and then bring them into a roster that is looking to make big strides is fantastic work from Heroic. And Saul, for that matter here. But right now, in this round, Woxic has to ready himself, and this time sidelined quickly. LNZ with a big opener, and he doesn't just stop at one. With help from some Pious, they break through the A-bomb site again on a gun round. This is over. Done deal. Let's call it a save here. And Heroic are stampeding through this T-side.
Aurora were not prepared for a pop that quickly. You're used to a 5-player collapse. But Woxic posted up, gets owned by the flashbang. And the whole setup falls apart just with one piece of utility. Major on the double will pick up one, but Linus is going to be hunting, and he could nail the timing at any moment. And he just escapes. Major, it's time to post up now.
Terrorists win.
Should be able to survive. Should be safe here. This round comes to a close, but yeah, I mean, the speed in which we saw the Heroic camp just rush it down middle. They were, deep in towards mid at about a minute 30 and through camera at a minute 23. There was no hesitation on that play. And when you're going up against a double op, and, what's common here is that you do see that position from Woxic. You see him play a little bit more passive, and then no smokes towards the B main side of things, just posting up for Major. That setup becomes clear, and Heroic abused it perfectly. And there is just such dominant map control taken right now from this Heroic camp. It continues in this one. Trying to fight for E-Box Trail, and Z gets close range already and deep in towards middle. It's back to a little bit more of a passive mid setup, and Heroic are identifying this and now capitalizing on it consistently.
I mean, big thing here for Aurora. I mean, they've shown weakness on this map of Anubis as well. That overtime game versus the Mongols got far out of hand back at Astana, and the loss to Furia. And what you don't have when you travel from one event to another in the span of a day, and that's called time. There's no time to go ahead and fix your mistakes and issues that you had in previous maps or to evolve your playbook. So Heroic just get to watch the tape and say, hey, they do this. And my goodness, xCloud is able to capitalize with a headshot. 4 versus 4, Linus with the duel here onto Major, xCloud with the double entry, and that puts it all down onto Makati, looking to peek on the timing. And will instead make it through. He's getting past the molly. He wants the duel, and he wins his fight. Can he win the round here for the side of Heroic? He has to dodge the grenades, and he does. 2 balls of death get sent his way, but eventually xCloud will clean up his countrymen. 2 versus 2, but Major makes his way through the storage. Back turn, though, to Youngsters. Easy kill. It's down to Jota. Coming through on the flank, being watched for, and Heroic keep on going.
They keep it rolling right now, man. Off the back of more impact on the opening picks right there, limiting Woxic trying to fight for this mid-control late. They were so prepared for that re-aggression, though. And then the extra impact here. Wacadia fighting for his life for so long, but XCloud and Youngstar just never stationary. Oh, now you see Heroic are feeling it. The terrain right now. The stampede of this T side. This half has been quick. We're already 9 rounds deep into it. And the only thing that Aurora have really been able to put up resistance-wise was on the pistol. Since then, a lot of these rounds not even close.
It's been the calling from Heroic. They've completely outplayed Aurora in so many of these rounds. And that smoke's not doing anything. Linus just runs through in-game leader on in-game leader combat. And Jota will throw some flashbangs into B main to try and stifle the execute, but that only stops them temporarily. Xantares will step forward for his fight. That just leads to a lineup for Linus. It's over. It's 8 rounds for Heroic.
You don't believe in the Woxic flank mag 7 here. I see.
I don't.
Maybe some cash to be farmed up. If possible, avoids the flashbang and misses on a Sunpius. No kill to be connected on right there. And they will coast to an 8th. Their quick pace here, the dominant map control. I mean, as you said, the calling, fantastic. And it all comes down to the amount of space that they take early and around, completely sidelining any hope for Aurora to pull these rounds back. I mean, it's such a difficulty to really work this this CT side. We know that's true, but it all comes down to the way that you're trying to open up rounds, the way that you try and take these opening duels. And every facet in which we see Aurora attempt early fights, I feel like is getting met by, on the opposite map, quick and dominant control that Aurora just can't recover from. Their target selection, they've been pressing on the vulnerabilities in every round, stringing rounds off the back of each other.
I mean, they've had flawless map control and they've had flawless execution as well. I mean, talk about the 3-man camera hit at minute 20. It's just something you're not expecting, especially the silent walk middle. There's a lot of reads coming through here from the Heroic camp. And to back it up, XCloud and Youngstar are hitting everything. Now Woxic up on the op. Beheld for... And Sunpius sits him down. Nade follow-up takes the chunk out of Jota. And they'll have to take their losses. A 4v5 on Anubis is a worst-case scenario.
Yeah, I mean, and, you know, that typically triggers more aggression from Aurora, in which Heroic are perfectly happy to camp and put it in park, wait for that to continue. That's exactly what they'll do here. Well, this round does come to a bit of a grinding halt. They've scared off the B-side aggression with that win from Sunpius. Now they look to structure themselves up towards the A side. And there could be a little bit of hope yet for Aurora, even in this 4v5 deficit. It just comes down to this A hold, and it's been tricky for this team right now to lock in on this A side. Wacadia and Magic got a lot on their shoulders right now. Early utility in, but caught with utility out is not going to do them any favors. And it's Youngstar and XCloud once more here. Xantares looking for a save with a kill stretched out through camera. And his teammate long on this flank. It is just going to be a 2v1 on the site proper with a fast flank formulating. But Xantares can't make his way in. He can't stride through the camera side. And now it's just going to buy time for Tanir to roll on up on this long-lasting flank. Xantares' life put on a timer right now. So is Jota peeking into the op. And the 1-2 punch comes in for the close. Heroic. It will take no time to finish off the job.
Insane. Xantares spends about 30 seconds waiting for the mid lurk. Like, he's gonna come at any moment now, right? And instead, Tanir just goes through their spawn instead of going in through mid. Just another level to this game being added by Heroic, advancing their own tendencies. And it's just getting brutal at this point. This is a beatdown on the T side of Anubis. This is what happened versus Furia back in Astana. Now, to be fair, Aurora were able to climb it back, but this team is on fire. Sun Pius hits a second flick down onto Xantares, and Woxic is surely toast. Oh, caught switching to grenades. Everything going wrong here for Aurora on their ace map.
This is
flat.
Dominant, yeah. They can't get anything rolling for themselves. Double pick up here from Sampaius, and I'm just looking to deal with Madgers, trying to be a nuisance as much as possible. Everywhere he goes is engulfed in flames, though. And as they do that, they won't even give him a chance to fight any further. Double spray down. Okadia trying to save the day. At least has provided a little bit of resistance for them to run into, but now identifying an open bomb site with the play from Tanir. Teammate mulling off Tanir, but it's just a mulligan to fight forward here instead of fall back. Hunting for this kill on a Madger as Heroic hunt for their map.
Oh boy. I mean, Heroic came through onto this map and just hit them over the head with the perfect playbook. Could have been undone there by Wakadia. I mean, but he needed a triple spray down. I mean, you can't even point out to one player who's having a slow game. Aurora are just getting rolled on every single site take. Wakadia has been fully blind. Woxic has never had a single clean shot. And the eyebrows there from Tanir are saying that we got this one in the bag.
It seems like it right now. I mean, Heroic had a monumental task for themselves heading into this matchup. Been, what, like 5 losses here in total for Eternal Fire this year. Definitely showed their biggest cracks though in Astana here on Anubis, but trying to provide the 6th loss, and it just continues, man. Headshot sent Tanir's way, but he has the better gun. That'll get the job done with one shot. LNZ trying to make it on through, and Sampaius has his backup right there. Nothing can stop Heroic from taking this map by stride. 11-1 is what they're looking to lock in here. Less Woxic and Wakadia can save the day. They've been good in the clutch, and maybe they can provide one on Anubis. A couple of opportunities gifted over, but LNZ needed a big shot to secure that one. Now Youngster taking down a half. Woxic making his moves, trying to figure out a way to get that molly. Takes a little bit of damage for his troubles. Isolated to Tanir can make this happen. Woxic needs one more kill, but Youngster steps out into the fire and will be able to bring home 11 right there. Heroic dominant in the first half here, looking for a third map.
Has the grind finally gotten to them is the question, as Aurora are down 11-1 on a map that used to be their stronghold. People have figured out their formula. And well, here we are, 11 rounds straight. They got the pistol round and nothing else. And well, it'll have to be the comeback of the year if they want to see a 2-0.
That it will. And hey, they got the pistol round last half. What if they could do it again? That would be how they started off.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
They might need a little bit more than that goal.
They might indeed here. Breaking the glass here. Aurora looking to target the right bomb site. Youngstar alone has just tossed in a smoke to use these dual Berettas. Trying to keep them a little bit at bay. And mission accomplished. Now this does allow for the rest of Heroic to kind of float around and figure out where exactly the motion is from the Aurora camp. And right now taking a long-range duel. Zentaris will be able to blow open the bomb site, and that's the one pick they needed to gain access here. Aurora looking to lock in a bomb plant.
Okay, but xFloud has other ideas. Backing up. Oh, he takes the first, but eats a goosh. That will keep him down. Bomb to be planted safely. But xFloud has help. Sampaya's at long range. We'll need to provide that if they are going to swing. But with Madger in middle, he's going to wait for his players at E-box to take contact first. Sampaya steps forward. Madger with the headshot. And good luck to xFloud. Cowering away. He's done. He still gets another, believe it or not. But with no kit, this round is done. Zentaris on the dualies. He's gotten half his kills on them and more. Oh my goodness. Zentaris on the dual Berettas. Dueling in Dallas.
Looking like a bit of a gunslinger here. Able to fire away with those dualies. Bringing home the second pistol for Aurora. Still looks like a little bit of a bleak scoreline for them, but that's a start.
That is 6 kills on dual Berettas. All the other guns, 3.
Oh, that's nuts. His specialty weapon, it seems, right now for this map of Anubis. At least he has that consistency, though. Good with the dual Berettas.
I don't think that's called consistency call. He's consistently getting kills on pistol rounds. I mean,
hey.
every team's got to have one of those. I think Zentaris has seen better days.
They just wish that that could matter a little bit more in this matchup. You're usually winning both pistols in the current environment. It feels like a tall tale sign of free 2-0, but in this case, just their second round by sweeping the pistols. And it is a pretty aggressive force buy, but I don't mind this call at all from Heroic. If you win it, you make your job easy. If you lose, you get an op in the first gun round. Consider that a win-win. Trying to nurse their lead to the finish line.
So we're taking a peek into the site, and we'll clear Tanir. And the second. It is unbelievably important, no matter how this map goes, for Aurora to just wake up. Just to get off the tarmac. After they got off the tarmac only maybe 5 hours ago. Just get rolling. Don't give a highlight to Sampaia. Oh, it's not looking great for Zentaris in terms of the dual Berettas to other guns department.
That ratio is still rough. It's not where you want to be. In that case, maybe we just buy the dualies. See if that tries to work. So maybe next round he'll do it.
I mean, he could, because they're going to be on full eco no matter what.
I don't know if what I would have equipped, but I don't think I have the dualies equipped on T side.
Yeah, because someone's always dropping it to you. I get it.
No, it's not that.
Player mentality.
Well, yeah, it is that a little bit. I get armor, you know. Come on now, let's just be real. I'm gonna get the kills, but secondly, it's. I feel like the dual Berettas aren't that impactful on the T side. I think Zentaris picked it up from Youngstar initially on that last pistol round. I guess you're rocking a P250, Tech 9, Glock, Deagle.
well known that Cole's ego is massive, and well, it's also true. He probably will get all the kills.
True.
I should get a t-shirt where it's like, he carries me on Faceit.com.
Still hanging on tight to that championship belt. Season.
I was wondering when we were going to mention it. Could we get through day one of not mentioning that you won something? Oh my goodness, that's a nice shot there from X-Flab. Linus holding on to dear life with the molly at his back. 4 versus 4. Just don't lose the pistols. It's that simple. And Madger agrees. Or does he?
Yes.
He does.
He does. He does. He believes, he agrees. Doing everything he needs
Hold
to
on.
here. Walksick able to just about snag that bomb and get out of dodge. Safety for that smoke right there to get onto the site as well. There is a AK to be picked up for some Pius. With how far he is removed, it might be worth just calling it a bit of a save. Seeing what LNZ can't do here at this point. And yeah, quickly dealt with by the AK, or rather the Galil Vocadia. Gonna move it on up to 4. Aurora. Alright, get back into this thing here, fight.
It's they're all coming back, guys. It's already settled. We're going to overtime. They haven't had their first gun round yet. So
You know what we do have here?
what's that?
Now that Aurora have 4, we've got Zonic's Law.
Oh my god.
Full effect.
Oh, okay. The most dangerous scoreline in Counter-Strike is back, everybody.
I've been we were watching the BCG and Mouse game earlier, and we saw a couple 8-4s, and we were making jokes that, you know, we haven't heard Zonic's Law anymore with MR15 being removed. But I'm trying to bring it back into relevancy, you know? We got to bring Zonic's Law back into play. Even if it's not a halftime score, we can't let Zonic's Law just die.
So here it is, folks, for all the people who are clamoring for it at home. Some Pius posts up.
Oof.
Misses. Jiggle peaks were good there. Difficult to hit for Madger. Still nimble.
He jumped over that bullet, it looked like. Right
Yeah.
there.
This is a very risky position. He's completely discounting the fountain angle. X-Flat swings, but gets no target. Madger taking on Youngster.
They are evacuating completely. They're leaving the side open. Full rain here for Aurora to capitalize, to pounce on
So convinced.
free real estate, and yeah, they stack all their cards towards middle. There's no one there. Heroic are fighting ghosts in this round, and at this point, they're going to realize a little too late.
We might get a unicorn. Yeah, this is a free bomb site. I don't think Aurora are gonna believe it, but they've cleared every angle, so they're like, what do I do? I plant the bomb, I suppose. Are we gonna get a unicorn round? Are we gonna get a 5-on-5 save? It doesn't look like Heroic wanna.
No, I don't think we're getting a save call just yet, but I mean, it should be soon. This round's put on the timer. This flank bearing a little bit of fruit there with Tanir quickly on motion, but there's also a flank here on the team.
Zentaris
looking to put an end to this one. Already striking a kill here and finding another one. Putting Heroic in a trap in the blender. And Tanir, the only one to find a kill in this round, trying to hang on to his A1S, won't be able to do so. Aurora pulling back now to a 5th round.
Oh boy. Well, that is the first step. Madger's got a lot of words to be said, but the last thing Aurora expect is that they walk into an empty B site in the 5v5. There had to have been some read that Heroic had in the back of their mind where it's like, okay, they want to do an A split here. They got it completely wrong and immediately saw was going to hit the timeout.
Yeah, I mean, and you can kind of understand the full belief and commitment into one vision, because look what happened when they did that in the first half. They, believed in LNZ's calls They trusted in the process of very quick map control, playing fearless Counter-Strike for the early part of that first half, and it paid off in a big way. It paid off in 11 rounds. So bringing that into the CT side is not a bad idea, but when you start to take those really big risks, when you do have such a lead, it feels like in some of those rounds you're just playing, hoping to get lucky for a couple of rounds instead of trusting in your setups. And that can be a bit of a concern. Just a small detail, nothing to be fearful about just yet, but we'll see if that remains a tendency. Spam damage good there. LMZ trying to take a peek through middle. Gets scared off by the smoke spam. And Madger trying to time his aggression to flush out the E-box completely. Smoking a fade, multiple mollies put in to deny an exit, to try and force a fight, and now it's kind of called clear. Wakati has a great angle, but traded 1 for 1 here. Now they got the flank wrapped up. The re-aggression in towards E-box is dealt with by Madger. Flash comes through a little bit late, but Sampaius provides another kill. And at least puts a little bit of fear into the eyes here of Aurora. Sets some hesitation in. Santaris walking about here, and he does find the kills to try and secure things.
There it is.
Walking right into the Woxic up, and it is a 6 now, keeping things secure. They're starting to believe here.
I was a little scared when Zantares keep pushing forward. But when they're armorless, if you fire the first bullet, you've got it in the back. Oh, that's disgusting. I didn't even see him. Just took some pot shots through the corner. And locked it in. Aurora with 5 in a row to start off the T side. When do you start believing? Just a quick question. And also, is Onyx Law happening again? Oh boy. Well, it might end quickly. Opening pick there from xCloud. He just underhands a grenade and bounces out of there. And then a second follow-up kill from Sampaius makes things even worse.
Just when you start to believe, that's when the life gets drained out of you right there. A 3v5 feels incredibly difficult to recover. But you got a powerful trio still remaining.
We're playing passive.
They're hoping that the utility that they have left gets the job done. They still got to be careful. I mean, there's nobody close by. If these are clean entries, that could be disaster for this defense. Xantares scaling, and the flash is perfect. 1 clean kill, but Tanir still remains strong on the site. Holding the line, keeping his teammates safe. And a 4v1 now for Woxic. Can he bring home another clutch of this proportion? That seems like a task too tall, but 1 kill in. Can he get past the op here of Sampaius? He peeks into the fight. Almost had the line, but can't secure the kill to back it up. And Heroic, after a little bit of delay, going to claim themselves map point.
Beautiful entry pathing there from Xantares. It's just a shame that Tanir, strong at the back of the site, holds on. Needed the double kill, or else that round gets weird. And not every day that you can win a straight head-to-head versus Xantares. But maybe after a 21-hour flight you can. Look, I'm hammering it home, but that's the storyline for this game right here.
I mean, it's kind of been, you know, stress management, the amount of reps that Aurora have played. It's been the story for them this year as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it plays an even bigger factor with this team in particular, but just because they got map point doesn't mean the job is just finished yet. Aggression towards middle punished. Jota with a favorable duel, and we'll be able to win it on the Youngstar as well. It's been the hot hand here for Heroic. Now sidelined, and the molly doesn't really provide him much coverage. Tanir does take some damage, though, and fades away right into the hands of Madger. So 4v2. Looking like save formation here for the remaining on Heroic, and again, Aurora not down just yet.
Don't want to be that guy, but overtime at least secured here for Heroic. I know, that was really, really useful. And we'll see if they...
Bars.
We'll
That was
see if
almost
they
as good
need
as
it.
your line of "and Dallas Lone Stars won't cut it." Was that the one? That was gas. I can't lie. That one got me hyped. Did you write that one?
No comment. But shout out
That
to
one
fellas
got-
at the ESL media team because they're cooking with that.
Yeah, that one got me hyped. I can't lie. That was writing fire right there.
I can't give direct credit, but it may or may not have been me. But alas, I'm not very well known for my poetry.
Hey, YouTube is kind of like poetry.
I just type out what happened at a tournament and just like, boom, hit upload. Just a dude at a typewriter. Tapping buttons. As heroic. Can they tap their buttons to the right tune? Push this one over the line, because this game has gotten complicated. I think Aurora have already a mission accomplished. If in their mind, if they've already lost this map, so be it. But they've got rolling again. This is not complete destruction, but those 3 nades might as well be. Sampai's down to 31 early. He's dead to a single AK bullet. Placed in the right spot. A youngster to step forward.
Ooh.
Map control taken. Big information right now running for heroic. And Jota might not realize. Underneath, he does adjust. Does get the opener here. Tanir in trouble. Oh, he gets gooshed. Nearly one tap there by Jota.
They didn't have Kevlar. They spot the totem pole here. Wonder if that's going to queue up a little bit of speed towards B. It certainly is. You see the multiple players right now rolling out on the A side. You know that's your chance here, but caught with utility out and sides turned. Woxic, a necessary kill as he sets his focus on towards A main, reading into the next fight and the next play here. It's all on the shoulders of Sampai's. His op not going to get a chance to strike though. Xantares can just plant safe. He's on the scene here, but he might look to set his sights elsewhere. Focused in on the mid flank here from Jota. Didn't quite click mouse one. That'll be punished in a big way there. Jota gonna get handed a little bit of a freebie, and Aurora still scaling forward in this comeback are keeping themselves alive. I mean, you say that they'd be happy with the fact that they've just been able to resuscitate this map for them on the T side, but being able to take it that extra step here, being able to work heroic all the way back to 12, I mean, that would be a statement of this team's tenacity.
Oh, I can only imagine if Sampai's got surprised and didn't shoot. As we have this nifty little execute back sight smoke coming through here for Aurora. They've got some next level tactics here on Anubis, and an incredible entry. Xantares, is he back? Well, xCloud, hello there. That's a free op. And now surely that presses them over to the B side. They've lost all of A side control. Molly into Temple though. Will make life difficult here for Tanir as he gets headshotted, but Sampai's pushes through. Op not necessary. Can the Deagle do it from the back of the site? Can he thread in another headshot? Just damage. Now just xCloud. Stuck in towards E-Box. HE grenade. Target on his back right now.
Ooh.
And no targets to shoot at. Bomb not even needed to be planted. It's Xantares with the 4K. We were laughing about the dual Berettas ratio. He is alive and kicking on the T side.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a tough bit of a map here for himself. Outside of those pistol rounds, hasn't been able to provide much, but what a time to step up to the plate. Look at his aim. Look at the way that he floats around the map so effectively. Quick to strike on those kills and putting it on up to 9 now. Things got so chaotic, it looked like it could have been the death of Aurora here on Anubis, but instead, they fight on. They stay afloat. They're still treading water right now, just looking to survive for here. But trying to make it to a point in which they can take it into OT. They've got to be flawless in the calls. No room for mistakes. Sampai's is up. It could be challenged here soon. A lot of mid utility, hinting that that's the direction Xantares looking to go.
shoving aim. Oh, what?
Wakadia
What?
deletes X-Log through the smoke.
But some Pius does dismiss onto Madger. And he tucks away into the site. They know where the op is. The decision, do they want to challenge it, is the question. And the answer seems like no.
Middle.
They're going back in. They hear the mid re-clear, and they know the B site is empty. The read is in for Aurora.
They just need the shots to back it up. Woxic on the scene, holding off towards Temple. His teammate getting positioned in towards Plat, but it's Heroic making a decision. Playing it safe here, calling it back in towards Temple, waiting for their whole team to arrive, trusting in the 4v4 now. Flank is rolling as well from LNZ, but you've got to clear every last position. And an advantage for Wakadia. Firing up here. Missed shot from Woxic, not going to do him much favors. As the flashes roll out, they've made their decision. They're bailing.
No way.
It's double digits.
There is no way. The comeback of the year on the cards right now for Aurora. I said it as a joke. That's a nice shot from some Pius. He's still in the server for sure.
Terrorists win.
But Aurora, with one round in between, have picked up 9 in this half.
I mean, I think you have to add into the connotations of this comeback the fact that they had to do it with such a long and grueling day
Yes.
of travel here, right? They've been traveling. They breeze past Dust2 with the clutches and make it happen. But to be down 11-1 in the first half, I wouldn't blame them for saying, all right, let's just take it to a third. Calling it quits. And finding themselves frustrated by the way that Heroic worked that first half. But that's not this team. That's not what they're putting on display.
I don't care, again, how the result of this map goes. All we've seen here from Aurora is just determination. They keep fighting. Zentara started off this game awfully. Terrible. Now he's back top fragging. The server.
Figured out a way to shut down these stars on Heroic by showing them what the old guard can get done.
A-side stack. They're trying to walk through as well with the grenades and the flashbangs. Do they clear the corner? They do. They see everything, and they lost the bomb. Is that curtains? On a legendary moment, it might be. Youngster delivers onto Xantaras, and as soon as I start talking about a comeback... well, the magic is lost. Woxic missed out on a timing. And the comeback ends there. Sheer determination and grit out of Aurora, but the deficit too big. Heroic will steal Anubis.
Yeah, just a step too far out of hand, out of reach right there. Heroic will be able to complete the mission. It takes them a little while, but one last-ditch effort, a decisive move to fight into.
Let's not get it wrong. The storyline of this tournament is that Falcons and Team Vitality are on yet another head-on. But we shall see, obviously. But that lower bracket, you're talking about it as well. As we're launching off here for map number 3 of Mirage, that lower bracket could be filled with teams like Mouse, Team Liquid. You're talking about that FaZe clan with Simple. And you're not wrong. Aurora might have to clear one of those teams if they falter here and head to the lowers early on. And so, pistol round time here on Mirage. Last map of the day here in Dallas.
So to see how this thing closes out on Mirage. Dust2, Anubis, and now Mirage to close us. Got the dusty maps right now. Firepower heavy, leaning in on the strengths here of these two teams, and Madger looking to try and take an opening duel. Tanir following up off that success, though, holding off in towards middle and A. They're winning on every front so far. Sumpai's going to keep that tree.
Okay.
Everyone collapsing in. Heroic dominant on the pistol. After getting swept in that last map, good to see them bounce back.
That's the worst kind of start you'd want to see for Aurora, rather. They just don't hit anything. They had some advantageous fights, but none of the shots connected. Tanir, locked in. Youngster, the same. All that time spent channeling for Tanir turns into a 3-piece in the pistol. And Aurora will go down to Glocks. You know, I say this a lot, but the most draining thing is waiting. The most... Just when you're not doing anything, when you need to keep your mind active somehow. And perhaps a little bit of a break could have slowed down that momentum in between the maps. We'll have to see if that's the case. It's obviously just the pistol plus the eco, but something to think about.
Yeah, with you also a chance to recenter yourself here and maybe do some damage in this one.
Oh boy.
Sampai's kind of painted into a corner right now. Gonna have to call in for a little bit of assistance. That's what he will receive. And everyone starts to fall accordingly. Madger probably soon to follow with his Glock in hand. Does some decent damage. In fact, they do a lot of damage in this round. Any better pistols, and it could have been more concerning. That's not the case, though. And instead, Heroic coasts to 2-0 before the first gun round comes through here for Aurora.
Got interesting. Maybe if there's a tiny investment, a P250 could have made a world of difference. But that would have cost you one of these smoke grenades. Aurora are into a buy, but only with half utility. They've got to make a bit of a quicker paced play. And it's looking like just mid-smokes and prepping that A execute.
Oh, that's a great HE right there early on. Some chip damage as they try and punish any sort of A main pressure. But right now that's not coming through. See the priority of the utility from Heroic is to recycle the smokes towards Palace and, you know, as much as possible maybe look for Youngstar to set up a duel towards A main on a timing. No visual spotted here. Matches Lurk looking to be effective as well. This could get scary quickly on this A site. Another smoking towards Palace as the A execution's coming through. So Youngstar looking to isolate these fights towards main, but the target's already rolling out. A mid collapse coming in as well. Madger still underneath pressure, and LNZ the one to take him down, covering off that base. Sampaya still fighting through CT, makes it to triple, and finds a couple of kills. The rest of the cavalry all through connector, and at least a bomb plate coming through for Aurora.
Oh, devastating molly, though. That forces the fight from everyone. They gotta shoot their way out, and they do. Woxic on the rifle, up for the double. He escapes over towards triple. Rather, Tetris. And X-Cloud making a move. We'll just walk right into Jota. The 2 versus 3. It was looking terrible. They were molly out into the open, but they just hit the shot.
That they do, man. They just hit the shots to back it up, and I just love the dedication right there. Swinging together as a unit. Jota and Woxic not hesitating, but immediately coordinating their effort. Fighting over each other's shoulder right there. What a way to win a round for Aurora. Fighting through that adversity. And getting on the board, breaking through that A side. It started to feel like hope was being lost. We do got this aggression though. Sampai's taking no time getting into the underpass here. Punished instantly by Zentaris. He's completely leveled it up here.
Oh, he's back.
Position from Tanir.
I think Ricardio's prepared for this kind of play. Maybe he saw a barrel.
I mean, when you see that aggression towards underpass, it's likely that they're going to try and crunch in, but...
Oh, boy.
It might not matter. Zentaris could just win it out right here. Well, Katie does miss his fight, but there's still a man up because Zentaris is instant.
Zentaris is so locked in. It really just did take him a map. Is Joe just going to walk the smoke? Yes, he is. On the timing, Youngster's also going to walk inside. Oh.
Being blocked. He called it out.
Yep. Oh, but he reveals his position. He finds a headshot anyways. That is massive. Now, Linus here in jungle will eventually get flanked, but you still have Youngster to deal with in the palace. Trying to toy with the different angles. Crosses over to the left. Zentaris in need of coverage, but Youngster wins the duel. He wins the round.
Oh.
Huge round for Youngster pushing through for Palace.
He is popping off right now. He spotted out on the minimap that he wasn't moving. Figures out quickly where his target is and starts spamming the smoke before it even fades. And he had to make that play. The pressure was coming through connector as well, so he needed to cover off that base of Palace. Otherwise, his teammates, they were in jeopardy.
Youngster Young King up there. Battles back a 3 versus 5 with just a 5-7. Now Wakadia charging for it. He wants this 1v1 fight versus Linus. He could get it. Oh, he gets to near. He's looking for both. Linus's angle, though. A bit too awkward for Wakadia to find, but an excellent lurk play.
Yeah, at least give it him one. Something to lift off right now. Something to weaken up that defense. Put pressure on the extremity. Right now, full focus on Heroic towards the middle side. And they definitely have some gaps in the defense right now. But Youngstar, being the gap, is still going to be able to close it. And finds a quick headshot, shutting down the A main play, putting it into a man advantage, hoping a Palace peek comes his way so he can tap him out of the server as well. And hunting these kills down. Youngstar, a man possessed right now. Zentaris starting to punish. 2 deagle shots from Palace eventually come through. It brings that round into the realm of possibility. Not going to happen in this case, but at least a scare put on.
That's a lot of damage, and Aurora can certainly be happy with it. I mean, it's their 2 stars of the show. Wakadia and Zentaris have been hauling this team. And oh my goodness, it got Zentaris peaked on land. It's not supposed to happen, but it just did. Youngster saw nothing. Now some bias. Stepping forward. Gets that mid control. Youngster just so confident. When will he be punished?
He loves this top stairs peek. I think you can talk about an easy punishment as soon as the op gets pulled out and focus is trained on that location. But for now, the game plan here, again, is that Heroic prioritize the Palace smokes and trust that Youngstar can do a lot of heavy lifting, can find early fights in towards A main off these stairs peaks. Not going to be bolstered up by the Sunpious op just yet. Thought that was where the rotation was lining in. But now those Palace smokes fade away. There's not a lot of recovery utility left, so Sunpious has to get on the scene quickly. This A site is becoming vulnerable right now, and the rotations are heavy. There's 4 players towards this A bomb site. They need to find some kills, though, to start off this round, and finally they do so at the sacrifice of their Opper and CT.
They got no smokes. They have no smokes to progress. They've got to frag their way out of this. And it's looking good here for Madger. Youngster firing off. Flashbang through Youngster completely blind. They're just hunting for kills. They're not even going for the bomb plant. They realize, why don't we just eliminate the CTs? Now Woxic will feel safe to put it down because his team has got the space. But Aurora's goal was never to plant. They just want to frag. And they could get punished. Linus gets a kill back. And they seem interested. They don't have a smoke for the defuse, but back turn for Wakadia. No one's covering. And they're in the round. 2 versus 2.
He leaves Palace right now and tries to join up with his teammate. But there's a kit, at least for Linus right now, trying to get him off the bomb. They're so focused in on connector right now, and that allows for Jota to strike. He goes early, and they still have no idea where Madger's playing. So running knife out into his open arms, he'll be able to claim the clutch. A little bit chaotic there towards the tail end for Aurora in the 4v2, but they make it happen. A win through the eliminations, though, in the early round. The patience paying off in a big way for this Aurora camp. Flash being set up for Madger as he gets boosted on top of the stairs. He holds his nerve for so long until that flash comes through. And Aurora catch Heroic getting jumpy. Now forced by in play here. MP9's in the mix. Limited firepower, but a heavy fight towards middle. Madger's already ahead of it. He is way past this defense. Does get caught surprised. There's still one in the mix here. Woxic tracks one through the smoke and is looking for a second. Diligence on the spam. Allows for Zentaris to strike through underpass. And Chota, he doesn't want to hang around that fight for too long. Getting chased by LNZ, but... Oh, bested, actually. He did fall.
You don't know Tanir's here. And... Oh, he delivers a headshot. Now they know it's B. But Tanir can rotate fast enough. He'll get in at the market window. And he's going to cross to the door. Well, think about it. He wants to fight. And he cannot thread in that headshot at the very end. Linus 1v2. Zentaris is just going to swing it. Of course he is. And he will get punished quickly. Another Woxic clutch needed. He tucks away over towards the E-box now. And Linus to make his move. Will he clear properly? No. Not ready for Woxic in the corner. And that's the round. Another close one for Aurora, but rounds are rounds.
They just can't stop peeking in these late rounds too. I mean, Moxley did it last round where he takes a forward fight towards CT.
He accidented Youngster.
Oh my god, yeah, he did. And they trust in their aim right now. They trust in their accuracy for Aurora. And they're rewarded in multiple different rounds. They came with a force by another one here. It came down to a 1v1. It came down to a couple clutches in a row here. So Heroic are going all in again. The chips on the table, letting it fly. We'll see if this risk is punished. Joda waiting in Palace. 1 kill in. Trying to take the next duel, but he knows an MP9's hunting him, and he can't recover the second. So at least a trade, but a lot of information gathered off the back of that aggression. A weird bounce on that HE. Gonna allow Linus to stay healthy. But they've lost all their space on the A side. In fact, aggression continues. It forces their hand towards B, and somehow Xantares makes it work. With a deagle shot from Sapias flying through the market. And Magic flank looking to save the day. HE does more damage now, capitalizing on the early frags done. Magic trying to scale forward, can't track his aim. Tanir stays elusive, and Woxic left scratching his head right now.
Oh, it's gone horribly wrong. Magic just not sharp on the shot. That was supposed to be his. Sapias almost gets caught in the swing. The high sensitivity will be a great asset to Woxic. He can pivot between so many angles. But there's just simply too many for one player. He will make the drop in towards the underpass, but met with a molly, he's just gonna smoke it and go. Flashbang forward. X-Cloud knocked up the line. He knows where he is, but cannot hit the headshot. And plus, he had some pies for backup anyways. And Heroic will keep it real spicy there with an eco in.
Making every round interesting. Back-to-back force buy calls here. All in effort and so much damage done by the MP9 of Linus. It's capitalized. Heroic. Their big investment pays off. And now, Aurora looking to turn up the heat a little bit. Testing X-Cloud on this A side. Having Youngster committed. Smoke a little bit late because they're past it. They're pushing on into this bomb site, looking for the same deal that they got earlier. Trying to win through elimination towards this A side, but staying elusive. Youngstar flying through these angles right now as Madra activates on the lurk. They're still getting punished. Damage done as Sapias boxes Joda into the corner, and Madra has already faded away from this A side play. But B side is not open. In fact, it is quickly rushed in by Tanir. He's going to catch Madra by surprise with his knife out. Lets him fly by his crosshair, but not for long. Not into the sight.
And that eco round just changes everything. Changes the whole tempo of this game. I mean, a nice deagle headshot there from Madra, weaved in between, but you can see that it's put Aurora down onto full eco. All the money is building as well for Heroic. Sapias hasn't even needed to be opping, really, for this success. It's Youngster. Started this game off 11-1. But now his backup, Tanir, has been putting in his work.
Talk about the huge, swings of momentum that this team has taken, right? When Heroic do get on the board, they're able to make big splashes off the back of it. Did it on Dust2 with 4 in a row off of the half buy, force buy victory. They showed what they could do when they got a force buy on Anubis. And then when they force buy here on Mirage, they take the momentum away from Aurora completely. And for a team that's feeling a bit jet lagged, a bit tired, using their momentum is everything.
And so a contact play, just pistols, and it is Linus alone, but they've missed their window. He goes down, the backup has arrived. The Glock dinks at range are... Well, they're not doing much, I'm not gonna lie. The Youngster's just gonna run through and cleave up the rest of Aurora. Kadia does deliver one. But the Eco Bash settled. Heroic up 4 here on Mirage on the precipice of a big win.
Yeah, we talked about Sapias not necessarily needing his off just yet. That's the case. But he's gonna certainly have it after this round, and having 3 AKs to back it up with riflers that are holding their front. Doesn't seem like there's any weakness in this defense right now for them to press upon. We got on the other end of the server right now, full buy coming through from the Aurora camp. During this timeout, we decided Walks are going to get a glass cannon op here on the T side.
Huh. There's an idea with this. They want to punish some form of aggression, and guess who's been swinging top stairs every round?
I was just going to say that. We've been seeing the attempts from Youngstar, even X-Fly when he's playing off in towards connector. He's been swinging over towards top stairs if that's the direction they want to take the op.
It's like a boost for bottom connector, potentially?
That's called off.
Huh. Wondering what the idea is for Woxic.
Expecting a lot of mid-aggression by the positioning from his op. They do get the player tucked in towards the top of the stairs. Youngstar, that is an incredibly challenging duel that he makes look easy. Besting Wakati on the extremity. And their Palace Lurk doesn't want to activate. They don't want to show their cards, how much they've dealt towards the A side early. So now a man up. You get to trust a little bit more in the setup here. Woxic's having to do such a difficult bit of entry pathing, trying to take control of ladder. Fortunately for him, there's nobody there. Centaurus is sharp, man. That's a beautiful shot, but running right into the op of some Pius. He had the read, but not the backup here. And Youngstar still elevating his performance on this A side. Another kill, keeping coverage of window. Jota trying to lurk out, has got so much resistance. But an entry here, is he going to check Tanir? He does drop right into the headshot. Tanir still stationary in the underbelly. Is going to look for the final fight. He will deliver onto Madger using that ladder. Flying on up. And Heroic now find themselves on 8.
Oh my goodness. I mean, the aggression here, the shots being hit by Xantares. He's still very much in the picture of this game. But Heroic are beating them with the setups, the extra bait there. With Youngstar going down, they think that's the A anchor. That's the guy I want to target. But Tanir has that extra card up their sleeve. The deck stacked for Heroic. They're up 8-3 right now. And throughout this game, Aurora have been a step behind. So how about take a step forward into the B site? An entry kill for Jota puts this one onto Tanir. Onto the site, overwhelmed by 3 Turks. And that's it. X-Loud, long flank. But far too late. Or is it? Ooh. It activates, and Xantares not prepared for it. X-Flood gets a second, and this could be catastrophe for Aurora. But Jota delivers another, putting it down to Woxic yet again in the clutch. Ops traded out. Youngster will pick that one up, and now the swing into the site. First one, low HP, but Youngster just quick scopes him on the move anyways. He's lapping to the bank with that one, as Heroic are up 9-3 here on their Tier 1 debut. day could end in dismay for the side of Aurora. They're down 9-3 here on the decider. Whereas Heroic are elated. They're going to continue their win streak across 3 tournaments if they can close this one out and probably fell their toughest opponent yet. Complete dichotomy in the feelings of both teams at the moment. Can Aurora turn it around again?
See if they can make it happen. They're going to need another second half comeback. Has to start with the pistol like it did last time around. The execution in towards the B-side stack is looking promising. The shots from the dual Berettas, not so much here. But Madger and Jota keeping the site safe for as long as possible. Reinforcements straight through the market side are hoping that they can catch them off guard. Tenier, oh, is he going to give this a swing? He thought about it for a split second. Don't want to challenge Centaurus, though. At least not for free here. Sun Pius as the smoke fades. Not favorable for his position, and Centaurus is on the scene looking to isolate these fights. And a headshot out of Centaurus. He's been sharp, and he's going to continue to stab on through this Heroic camp. A big-time pistol close coming through from Centaurus.
He's back. He's done all of these pistol rounds right now for Aurora. Continually putting rounds together that shouldn't be possible. This is the X factor that Aurora need down the stretch. He was the slow starter here for the team. Can he kick it into gear when his partner in crime, Wakadia, is having a rough game of things? Not everyone's been firing at all cylinders. It's kind of been mismatched across every map. But Centaurus is used to this. He's used to hauling his teams throughout his entire career to the finish line. Can he do it in a comeback of this magnitude?
It's looking more and more likely with every step, with every play that he makes. Young Star's been trying to keep him quiet throughout that first half. He's been doing a good job of it, but unbelievable performance, and he just continues to mop up these ecos in clean fashion. LNZ waiting things out, forcing him to fall asleep, and as you can see, he's laughing about that one. Knows what the result of that round is going to be, but make sure to go and check real quick if he can do a little bit of damage. He does. Only a single casualty, and the MP9 drop for the A1S is just fine for the Aurora camp. Heroic looking to get their buy-in early. Straight up with the AKs. Bit of limitations on the utility.
Walks got an off.
Healthy lead.
Healthy lead, but Walks got an off with the first gun round could be an unexpected factor. Nade to the smoke doesn't get the spot on a target. Could have been the opener that Aurora needed. Now, he's looking for a peek down into A main, but no one is facing. They're waiting for that palace smoke to fade before they make their move. Oh my God. Goodness. The timing is absolutely terrible here for Aurora, but Jota does deliver one. Centaurus a follow-up. What could have been terrible turns into greatness here for the side of Aurora. X-Cloud, though, sprays down for a double. Back into the 2 versus 2. It's low HP here for Heroic, but they've got the A site.
Tenier, he spots out both plays. He knows now. At least allowing for X-Cloud to roll through and get a comfortable bomb plant, but with 22 HP, can he make a 1v2 happen?
He's got to
commit to the fight.
Here we go.
On the wavered here, holding the line, but no, Wakadia puts it to rest. And is going to deny that clutch effort right there, despite some phenomenal opening duels offered up. X-Cloud making it look possible. It will be shut down.
Yeah, he had to take the initiative there. On such low HP. And especially with the utility that was remaining on Aurora, that would have been the end of him. But it started out so terribly with Wakta getting caught out in the open. But Jota and Centaurus stitch it together. Round that was falling into pieces. And the opportunity is still available for Aurora, but look at this, the buyback instant from Heroic. Win this round, and we're looking at win the game type territory.
Yeah, we know these sort of buys have been deadly. Heroic doubling up on the force buys a whole lot. Off the back of that bomb plant, some damage done, they want it. But Zenteras wants it more. Elevated on top of the stairs here, finds the opening duel, sets up Jota for success on the defense. He's not yet to activate here.
Oh
An X-Cloud through the smoke. He makes it happen. He's flown through the CT smoke as well. There's an op right in between him and this round right now. Woxic, the element of surprise, but not the weapon for the job, and X-Cloud is aware. The round getting ripped away piece by piece. X-Cloud knows he needs to one-up what he did in that last, and he does just that. With that third kill, the final gut punch, he might go for 4. Magic gonna run through the door here, keep himself nice and safe, but Wakadia and a bit of the danger zone needs to escape as well. Should be afforded the opportunity. I mean, he has a kit and a smoke. His time's running a little too low. Just picks up an AK instead. Gonna go ahead and evacuate. And Aurora, or rather Heroic, they do exactly what they need to do. They win these difficult forced buy rounds again.
And once again, you still have these miraculous opening kills, but it's met with something even better from X-Cloud. I mean, some of these players that I'm sure a lot of people in Tier 1 haven't really, or like, the average Counter-Strike viewer hasn't seen before. What the heck is a youngster? Or who is an X-Cloud? Well, they can take on some of the best teams in the world. They just need to be put into the right teams and the right systems.
That's exactly what you got with this Heroic camp. Excellent leadership that you're familiar with in LNC. An Opera that we talked about can bring that consistency, and a coach here in the camp that can deliver. And
my God,
he hasn't had visual on half the targets that he's killed in the last couple of rounds, but he just keeps spamming the smoke for these opening duels. And it is 2 heavy hitters here taken down for Aurora early. Making their life hell is X-Cloud right now.
And they're just going to hit it with the flawless B execution. The gamble stack is going to be here from Woxic, but when your gamble stack is 2 players, you're not really gambling much. Cat split being covered. The right read is at least here for Aurora, but the extra element as well of X-Cloud could be too much to handle. We'll see. Woxic delivers the first on the off angle. And it does not buy enough space for Magic to do anything. Aurora have been obliterated. Their money's done. Some pie is saying, do you watch me do this? They're up 11-6. And they're going to send Aurora to the lower bracket.
Making sure everyone saw that. Let's find out what he was talking about. Crispy double opener coming through. To near with the deletion. And a round that ends as good as it started. And we know what sort of backbreaking win that is going to be for Aurora. They're going to keep up the force buys. Timeout called. MP9's in play. A scout for the hopes of Woxic. But Heroic are close to the finish line, and they had to do it in a difficult fashion as well.
I will say,
sweep effort.
Heroic have, throughout the entire day, even back on Dust2, I think, played the better Counter-Strike. Back on Dust2, it was the X Factor. It was the back-to-back clutches there from Woxic that broke the team. But on Anubis, they showed absolute class and power. And here, well, they've out-hustled their tired opponents. Obviously, we can bring all the excuses to bear. For Aurora, at the end of the day, you just gotta win. And it's not looking good. They've got 0 utility at MP9s. How are they gonna win this round?
Gonna do it by trying to delay that clock for as long as possible and hope that what they gamble up with is the right connection in terms of the stack. If you talk about late aggression as well, that could be their path to victory, but for now they're committed and they're already being sold this bill of goods that it will be more of a split. Utility being bombarded on in, a lot of fights towards the catwalk side. Madra at least wins on that extremity. Gonna pick up an AK for his troubles, but not for long. Won't be able to keep his hands on it for too long here. Wakadia, the round-winning play through the market window. Bomb plant denied for now. They get off of it. They're looking for the kill, but at least it buys time for an attempt. They're so distracted, though. Tanir, he's caused all of the distraction, kicking up Dustin towards middle. Woxic still focused as Youngster finds kills elsewhere. And Santara is realizing he's caught in the middle as bomb is down. And time is running out here, not only on this round, but on this series. Shut down by Heroic.
This is devastating. You thought for a moment Major had found an avenue back in, but Heroic have got safe plans for every single one of their plan A's. And then you also have players like Tanir, who could just win so many of their head-to-heads, who are just such diamonds that no other team in Counter-Strike has found. By the way, like, Tanir was supposed to be a substitute and a stand-in while they wait for Nilo to join this team. Young Swedish prospect. But he's turned into his own brand of Counter-Strike and is powering this Heroic team to become one in Counter-Strike that needs to be respected.
Absolutely. I mean, securing his spot with every sort of performance that he brings to the table. Unbelievable talent identified here by the Heroic camp in what was, you know, somewhat of a last-minute move there. And he is just a diamond in the rough right now as Heroic enter into their big opportunities here in Tier 1. They look to set and make a statement.
And of course, they'd be playing a portion of their former lineup, as they've been joking. They'd be playing against Heroic 2. Of course, they are Heroic 3. And now, maybe they can prove themselves to be the best in the server. But the Empiana Zentaris has other ideas. Second kill there, but the extra avenue coming through from X-Floud as he explodes onto the A site and takes down his countrymen. Heroic, their debut here in Tier 1, getting ready for the major in Austin, is looking good. Bomb plant into the smoke will not be denied. And Major, your time is up. 16 HP, and the lower bracket will be the home of Aurora as Heroic pull through, outplay their opponents, albeit sluggish, put an asterisk on it. They won, and that's what matters.
Yeah, I mean, after a very difficult Dust2, a map that they've been leaning in on for their success in those multiple tournament wins, a map that they leaned on to qualify to the main